The state is looking for a vendor to provide meals for prison inmates, but not just any type of meal, kosher meals. We wanted to know how much of our taxpayer money is going to pay for these specially prepared meals. So Sarah Yoro went to find out. Sarah, what'd you learn?
Well, Joe, kosher meals have been offered to Hawaii inmates for about 30 years. Why do we do this? Well, it's actually the law. But we wanted to know how much the state is shelling out so that these inmates can practice their religious beliefs. So I did some digging and learned it's about double the cost of a regular meal. Here's a bid request we dug up online looking for a business to provide kosher meals for Hawaii's prisons. I started asking questions, checking with the folks who run the prisons to find out how much you're paying to pick up the tab for these specially prepared meals. Here's what I found. The Department of Public Safety says it's about $8 for a kosher certified meal and $4 for a regular prison meal. Prison officials told me the state doesn't have a choice.
They declare a religion, and then we have to follow through.
She's talking about Judaism and the Jewish diet that dates back thousands of years.
It really comes down to doing things which enable you to become more, live a more holy life, and interact with people in a more holy way.
Ken Aronowitz is a spiritual leader at Temple Emmanuel in Nu'uanu and explained that kosher meals must be prepared in a certain way.
Basically, when it comes to the food, we have to follow with their religious rites.
So how many meals are we talking about? Prison officials say that number can fluctuate, but in that bid request, here's what they're looking for. At OCCC, more than 33,000 meals a year covering 30 inmates. At Halava, which houses felons and other hardcore criminals, another 28,000 meals for 26 inmates. Adding in all the prisons across the state, it's nearly 63,000 meals. That's $500,000, an extra $252,000. So why do these meals cost so much?
We have to actually order out to get these meals pre-made and packaged and sealed in a certain way so that it follows along with their religious rites and with the kosher standard. So we don't have another way of really doing this.
I wanted to find out what type of kosher meals could be on the menu. I got a hold of this list that says the state wants meals like beef stew, Florentine lasagna, and chicken Mediterranean. And that's not all. They're also looking at cheese tortellini, chicken and black beans, and pasta with garden vegetables.
Fortunately, anything that's pre-made, as you know, is probably going to be more expensive than something we can make in-house.
But one lawmaker says not so fast. Senator Willis Sparrow is the chairman of the Public Safety Committee. He says the cost for these meals is way too high.
It's our responsibility to make sure we are doing it in the most cost-effective way and that tax dollars are not being wasted and that we've looked at all possibilities locally before we have to consider importing these meals.
I think it has to be looked upon as a good investment and a positive step on their part and on the state's part.
Senator Sparrow says introducing a bill to put a price cap on kosher meals is always a possibility, but he wants to talk to prison officials first before intervening. We'll follow up on this story to find out if the state will make any changes. Sarah Yoro, KHON 2 News.
We wanted to know more about kosher food. We found out there are certain Jewish laws when it comes to preparing, storing, and eating food. A spiritual leader at a local temple says eating kosher is just one of the steps people take to seek and live a more holy life.
When you think of kashrut, you think of not eating pork or shellfish, not mixing milk with meat, so cheeseburgers are a no-no in terms of kashrut. So it's really foods that don't fall into those categories of pork, shellfish, mixing milk and meat, for instance.
Other foods like tofu, nuts, and seeds are considered neutral and are usually acceptable to eat.